Excellent. Welcome to some Azure Dreams. We are gonna get some really crazy race today. I know it because it's Wugga and KaineTheBrain, two extremely good runners. But first of all, a little bit of an introduction. Oh, I might be a little bit loud. Okay, all right. I can adjust that, no problem. And like that. That should be better. And I'm joined by Orza. You here?
Heyo.
Heyo. All right. So, like I said, a little bit of an introduction. This is Azure Dreams for the PlayStation 1. This is a roguelite RPG with town building elements and dating sims. But the tournament we do is actually called Rock Me to the Top. It is a special category made only for races. And that category is a little bit different. We're not going to do the town parts, neither will we do any of the dating sims. This is only the roguelite RPG part of the game, so the tower is the big dungeon we're going to get through. This is a 40-floor tower, and through that tower, we're going to try to get as high as we can, but we only have one go at it. So they have only one life, let's call it that. If they die, if they use an item to leave the tower, then their run ends there. And the floor that we're on is their score. The opponent needs to beat that. But just to make sure that it doesn't become just an endurance run and not a speed run in it of itself, there's two things that we've introduced. There is a 1 hour time limit. That's why they've got timers. And also, if there is a tie, which do happen, it is the first person who got to that floor actually wins the point. Since the tower is super volatile and really harsh, we do best of threes, so they can actually get a chance to get back. It can be a maximum of 3 hours, but it might be a lot less depending if they die early or not, and that will depend on how harsh the tower is today.
Yeah,
So,
we can
sorry.
confirm today, for those that are in the know, that we do have Sand Knight seeds. So this tower will probably be a little bit punishing today.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the really important things that you can already see on your screen, that you will see along the way, is that one of the really crazy things we've added to the game, we have seeded tower now. So thanks to Programmer, one of our community member, that has worked tirelessly to create a lot of crazy things for this game. We now have the chance to have we call it the de-randomizer. So while the randomizers are all the craze right now, we actually add to de-randomize the game a bit. And now we have the chance to have the same tower on both sides. So if there is a very tough situation on the left, you're going to see it on the right as well. And it makes for better races because now you get to see each runners. You can pick their brain a bit and see how they react to certain situation. And that's one thing I really like.
It also leaves you to moments of despair as you see one runner get something, and then runner go completely the wrong way and miss that item as well. So
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes there's still going to be differences. If at the beginning of a floor someone goes left and the other goes right, obviously they're going to experience very different things. Sometimes one of them is going to hit a trap, the other one won't. So obviously there's still going to be a lot of difference, and they might just take different choices during the run. So obviously they're not going to experience exactly the same thing, but they're going to be using the same items on the same floor layouts, and if they take exactly the same actions, they're going to get to face the same monster in the same position. Even they would get a crit at the same time or a miss at the same time, for as long as they follow the same script, but obviously they won't. So they might experience a little bit of difference, but that still makes it really interesting. We don't want to see robot races. We want to see people race, and that's one of the things I really enjoy.
actually, I for one would enjoy seeing a bot play this game and seeing what it does, but
True. There is a task for this game, and while it's not optimized perfectly, it is kind of impressive and also very weird because it doesn't fight at all. But yeah, that's a fun thing that's out there. So obviously the game, while seeded, is obviously randomly generated. I mean, there is a seed to get the same tower, but neither of them knew about the seed before they actually played it, like, just now. So all of this is just exploration and discovery. The first 5 floors is going to be how good an equipment set can I get, and how good items can I get in my inventory. This game's got some crazy items, which is definitely one of the biggest appeal of this game. Um, in some games, you could get like usable items like potions or damaging items that you would never use and that would clutter up your inventory. In this game, it's super different. These items are extremely powerful, and you don't want to keep them for too long. You want to keep them because you want a good inventory, obviously, but you don't want to... like, the battles are so hard that you're going to need to use them. There is no boss battle in this game, but I like to say that every encounter is a boss in itself. It'll get to a point where enemy two-shots you. They can pincer you in a corridor.
What do you mean there's no boss battles, Sad Knight? There are krakens in this tower.
Yeah, exactly. So, just the normal enemies are bosses in themselves. So, these items that deals a crazy amount of damage or completely delete an enemy is not only relevant, it's actually the most important part of the game in a sense. Gears are gonna bring you just as far as it can, but at some point, even gear won't do it. So, these like magic balls or special fruits or like all these kinds of crazy items is definitely going to be the way to go when you're going to be facing dragons. Like on KaineTheBrain side, we just see an Holy Scroll being picked up. The Holy Scroll's got, like, if you look at what it says it does on the tin, it's actually you use it on yourself and you become invincible for a few turns. And when I say a few, it's like 10, so it's really, really good. And you might not want to ever try to do something crazy with it, but actually, you can throw it at an enemy, and if you do, that enemy become a party member for the whole floor, and it still leaves the invincibility tile on. Then you can step on it and still get 10 turns of invincibility. So yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like the items are also notoriously bad for telling you what they do. Because there's a lot of items in this game that have additional uses.
Yes.
Much like Wugga is showing right here, that by throwing it, you get your own pet. There are other items in this game that tell you they do something, but then also do something else on top of that you would never have guessed.
Yes. So the choice of using the Holy Scroll, obviously a super good item that Wugga doesn't have anymore. But the difference is Cuny, his pet, is actually alive again. And on KaineTheBrain side, you lost Cuny to that Maneva fight. And yeah, that's going to be scary. Also, I don't know if we talked about that, but the Holy Scroll gives you an extra pet. But it's only for that floor. So when Wugga's going to leave floor 5, which is going to be soon, that Maneva is not going to follow. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's putting Kaine in a bit of a bind. Losing Cuny this early is pretty bad.
Yes. So he ends up using the Holy Scroll anyway, so obviously that is sad to see. Also, kills done by an Holy Scroll pet doesn't give you experience. It gives experience to that monster. So it's not really like a pet. It's more like if it was a charm monster. It's in its own party, but it's going to help for a while.
Good morning. Welcome to the stream, Nini.
Oh, absolutely. Welcome to the stream. You've come in a great time. We get a binding ball. Okay. Wugga is absolutely on a roll. That's going to be great. Now, I've seen Kaine play a lot, and I know you can absolutely do it like without Cuny. Obviously, unless something really bad happened, like a paralyzed trap in a room full of monster or a bad monster den or something. But I mean, I know you can absolutely do it in the toughest of sense. Like, he knows the game. That's not necessarily a problem there. But obviously, Tower's gonna dish some pain.
We can point out that this is while this is one of our lower bracket rounds, we are getting towards the end of this tournament. So we only have a handful of games left at this point in this whole tournament, and so we're pretty much seeing the cream of the crop at this point, duking it out at the top of this tournament. So everyone here right now is a pretty scary player in their own
right. Yes, exactly. Both Wugga and KaineTheBrain would have been contenders for the finals. Absolutely no questions asked. So obviously at some point, like, big players' heads are gonna roll. They're gonna end up in the lower bracket. That's just how it how it happens, but I mean, these are big names. Those are the people I wouldn't have liked to play against. They're absolutely super great, and that's gonna make for a fun match. I mean, KaineTheBrain without CUNY on floor, like what, 4? Yeah, bring it on. He's actually already in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, he's rocking a really strong setup right now in terms of equipment.
Yes.
So, with the elemental triangle of the system, he's rocking a shield that gives him an ice element, and a shield and a weapon that does fire, which makes him strong against the monsters that he's weak to for his defense. So
Exactly.
He's in a good position for fighting.
Yeah, and on top of that, the ice shield gives 5 defense, which is absolutely gigantic compared to the wooden shield you get, which gives you 2. Sorry. Like it's one of the older RPGs where the numbers are smaller and where +1 absolutely make a giant difference. Same for the sword they get. You gotta understand, like Orza said, though, there is an elemental triangle in this game, and you get extra damage and extra defense if you got the right element. And you take extra damage and deal less if you have the wrong element when you hit or get hit by an enemy monster. Generally, Ko is elemental-less and always deal neutral damage, but because of the setup they have right now, they both are considered water monster defensively and fire monster offensively. So, and they're gonna abuse that absolutely. They didn't know they were gonna get these items, but these runners are trained that whatever they're gonna get, they're gonna exploit the hell out of it.
You're gonna see probably some wacky stuff going on in this race, to say the least.
Yes. So on KaineTheBrain side, you can see he's messing around, but there's like a black hole with a blue thing coming out. The blue thing is called a U-boat. This is like a submarine type of enemies, and it is one of the worst enemy in the game. It has crazy high amount of attack, and it's got pretty okay defensively stats. But the bad part is it lives under the ground. And while it's in that state, it is absolutely invincible. Not only invincible, you cannot affect it with any status or anything. And so, if they can get a turn in melee with you, and then a turn passes, it's gonna get out of the ground and then hit you in the face. So they always will get first strike on you if you let them. But one of the thing you can actually try to abuse, not always easy to do, but you can try. It's called U-boat dancing, when if you step on their tile, which you can, while they are on the ground, they will actually not be able to get out of the ground, and they will need to move away from you. And you can do that infinitely as long as there's not another enemy bugging you around, and you can dance with them and hope that you will actually get out of that unscathed.
Exactly. So, oh boy. So they both did pick up this Ice Rock Bull, thankfully for Kaine. He's
Yes.
gonna get a lot of use out of this really sweet item here. Being able to lure the enemies into it as basically a target dummy while he runs away.
Yes.
It's one of my personally favorite spells in the game.
Oh, absolutely. Ice Rock is just really good, especially early on, because it does scale with your level a little bit, but the enemy's damage right now is so low.
Finding that egg right in front of the elevator.
Yeah,
Be a good bet.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that he will try to see what it is as soon as he can. Avocado, absolutely. Speedrunning Azure Dream is a thing. It's our 3rd tournament actually, and our community it hasn't been growing, it's been exploding of late. This is kind of crazy. Yeah. It is super fun to speedrun. Honestly, this is definitely a fun thing to do.
And right there in the chat, I dropped the Discord link for our
Ooh.
speedrunning Discord. If you want to learn how this game runs, if you want to talk about this game, if you want to know when matches are happening, that's the place to go, and that's the place you should be.
Pip, yeah, absolutely. RNG is a big thing. So you can do now a thing that was not possible earlier on. You can absolutely do one seated tower and practice that tower if that's your jam. But if you speak about the speedrunning categories on the leaderboard, it is always from a new game with unseeded RNG. So it is going to be always different. So you don't know what item you're going to get. You don't know what enemies you're going to get, what floor layout. This is what makes it really interesting and fun to replay honestly. And that's why these races are crazy, because now that we have seeded towers, yeah, it's going to be a random thing every time, but at least every runner is going to face against the same thing on both sides. And that, to me, is definitely the greatest thing ever.
A little bit of a misplay there on Wugga's side with the direction of Kune's attack.
Yes. One of the fun thing, though, is now they're both on floor 10. We've gone through floor 6 through 9, which are definitely the scariest floors, not because the monsters are so crazy strong, but mostly because they are water, and your setup is always going to be fire because of Kune. Now that they're out of this, the enemy monster is still going to be a little bit stronger, but because they won't have elemental advantage against you, it's going to be easier to actually get through, and the XP is really, really good. So that's where you go to grind a little bit. So you should see both these runners get at least to level 9, when actually Wugga is already there. But I try never to leave floor 10 before I'm level 9 at least.
And that's pretty true, Cheesecake. It's kind of like its own randomizer. It didn't need a program to be a randomizer. It just is one.
Absolutely. One of the interesting things, though, if you compare it to other randomizer out there, they will randomize either probably items, locations, and like the order in which you're going to do the game. But obviously, as a roguelike, like the game itself is randomly generated. You're not going to do these dungeon in that order. Oh, you need to do a different order because you got those items in a different fashion. This game is always going to be floor 1 to 40, but those floors are going to be different every time, which helps to keep it fresh, which I really enjoy. But I do also love me some Link to the Past once in a while. Randomizer is a lot of fun.
I would wholeheartedly agree with you on that.
All right, floor 12 is going to be the intro. Oh, well, it's going to be the introduction right away.
Everyone's favorite math equation. So,
yes.
That right there is a Kraken.
It was a Kraken.
It has an insane amount of attack power, an insane amount of health, and far too much defense. They are bad news. They're water types, and they also shock you when you attack them with a sword. So,
oh yeah,
they're just bad.
Oh yeah, they
Don't
are.
fight them.
This game has been built, honestly, to be done in, I'd say, casually, you're looking at 20 times you're gonna enter the tower. There's only one dungeon in the game. There's 40 floors to that tower, but there's wall built in, like not literal walls, but like difficulty sessions, like moments that it's gonna be so hard that you won't get through easily. Floors 6 through 9 is probably your first wall, where like monster's gonna turn all water. Cune's not gonna be able to help you much. And in a casual playthrough, your first playthrough, you're gonna die there probably like 99% of the time. Then you're gonna get stronger a little bit, go back home, your pet's gonna become stronger, and you're gonna get through these. And floor 12 is absolutely your second wall. The Krakens are just gonna, you'll be like, okay, I probably can face this new monster. How hard can it hit? Oh, I'm probably like 1 hit away from killing it. Oh no. Oh no. So these Krakens are absolutely terrifying. Like as speedrunners now, we know that we need to avoid them at all costs and use items when necessary, and we know like the HP they have and pretty much how hard they can hit. But on your first casual playthrough, you're gonna be like, okay, that's not a joke. And even when you get stronger, the fact that they deal a percentage damage back to you of what you did to them, it's still gonna be scary. If you fight a few in a row, you're gonna hit yourself pretty hard. Yeah, that's gonna be tough in that sense.
So Pip, you can do it in one go, like in one specific climb. But if you're recording it, you don't have to do it all in one run. You can go back out of the tower and come back in. It just needs to be in one segment. That's all it is.
Yes, but obviously, all the speedrun, like the best time in the speedrun leaderboard, is going to be in one go. Just because now some runners can do it. It's not a consistent thing. It's not something you're going to see. 20 damage.
And he's wearing
Yeah. You got to use an item. You're not going to face that Kraken. There's no way. But yeah, the best time now to absolutely get through the tower in one go. This is what you should try to get to at some point. But even the best runners with the best time on the leaderboard probably get through the tower in one shot. I'd say 10 to 15% of the time. I think it's fair. Like, and that's with a ton of practice, so you should not be ashamed if you get to, like, passing floor 6 is still a rough thing for us. So if you play casually or even attempt to speedrun it, if you die on floor 6, absolutely feel no shame. We've got some fun categories actually that we've with this game that have been made for new player mostly. This is called first at 10, first at 20, and first at 30. Which means that if you don't clear the tower the first time and get to floor 12, let's say, you can still submit to first at 10, like it's the first player to get to floor 10. And you can improve on that, improve that PB to get better at it, and it's like a lot more fun than actually just getting to floor 25 and realizing, well, I can't submit to the leaderboard before because I haven't cleared the tower. You get to floor 25, you can submit 2 runs. One for first at 10 and one for first at 20.
My link not working? Let's try again.
I can link mine.
I will try a new... No, it's still showing me the same thing.
I have linked to Discord as well. It should work. But I see people joining in, so I guess your link works.
Excellent.
Yeah. So on KaineTheBrain side, we can see a strategy called pickup strat. You actually can press circle and X to pick up anything in front of you, like an item, but you can also do that to an enemy monster. If you do it to your own pet, which Kaine doesn't have, it's going to work 100% of the time, same if you try to pick up an item. But if you try to pick up an enemy, then there's a 62.5% chance it works, and the remaining percentage that it won't. And if it doesn't, not only do you lose your turn, but obviously the enemy's put back on the ground is going to hit you in the face. So this is always a super scary thing to do, but Kaine has been A, ballsy, and B, successful in like the many attempts.
Well, he's doing a smart thing by trying to pick up a lot of Dreamins.
Yes.
The Dreamin in particular is a very weak monster in its attack power, and so it's a very good contender for missing a grab on it. Griffins, however, are not.
Oh, okay, so there's 2 scrolls up there, and Kaine's gonna throw a sword at it, and it's gonna damage one of the 2 scrolls.
Oh no! Oh boy, that could have been the end of Kaine's run right there.
Oh yeah, if it was a rise. I said Kaine, but I meant Wugga. Wugga has found an enemy called a Maniva, which is actually the yellow blubby thing you saw earlier on. Now, later on, when you get to see them the second time in the tower, they get the new power of actually being able to turn into items. They copy or clone the items and get like on the ground prowling and waiting for you. This is definitely a bad thing, but if you see 2 of the same items, one close to the other on these types of floor, you get to know it's probably a Maniva, don't mess with it. Or you can use an item and throw it at it to scout if it is a Maniva. If it deals damage, it's one. And then you can try and pick up the other one without triggering the Maniva itself.
Yeah, they're a bit of a pain. Oh,
Yes.
Did that Griffin just get warped away? Is that what I saw?
I think it's what happened, yeah. And I'm impressed by KaineTheBrain play here. This guy's been running QNLS for what, like almost 10th floor now? And he's still going at it, even though Wugga's taking a commanding lead. Obviously, Wugga doesn't fear combat as much. I'm still impressed that like Kaine is just trucking along, and that race is not done by any stretch of the imagination. He can still win. And he used the warp trap.
Hey, warp trap is not lethal once you lose Kune.
Yep.
That's a bad time though with a Griffin coming right at him.
He's gonna try pick up again, and there we go. No fear.
Hey, he knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. Counted the amount of tile. He knew he was going to get it once, but once is not really scary, especially since he has the ice shield against those fire monster. It's absolutely acceptable.
Yeah, as mentioned before, he's pretty well equipped to be having to run solo. A lot of times when you're stuck like this, you don't have very good gear, and so it makes it a little extra painful.
Yes, or you have a wand, which is a super good weapon to have because it multiplies the damage from your pet. But the sad part, obviously, is when you run without a pet, then it's just a wooden stick that is for 1 damage. So, yeah, since they got a very good sword early on, now they can still use it without a pet, and it's helped Kaine a little bit.
Wow, that wasn't okay.
Yeah, that was kind of scary.
On these Manaweva floors, I'm always worried that those double items are going to be a Manaweva, because
Yes.
they really hurt. They're very strong monsters for these floors.
I agree. At least Kaine is getting some new items to replace the one he uses. He's been using a lot of items, obviously, because he doesn't get to fight with CUNY and is like fighting alone. Ko is really weak. We call him the weakest monster in the tower, even if he's not a monster. Yeah, that's kind of... Oh, that's a Miniva. Yep, you can see Kaine do like, nope. Nope, 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 nope.
So if you notice on your minimap, I believe that the Manawevas will disappear when you step out of the room, right?
Yes.
So you can see which one is the Manaweva by walking in and walking out of the room.
So Wugga's coming to what we like to call Viper Town, which is floor 20 to 24. This is the halfway of the tower, and the tower will let you know. You're halfway there? That's so cute. Now, introduces Vipers. These monsters are water, obviously, so let's make things bad right off the bat. They hit super hard. They have a crazy amount of HP. Their defense is not the highest, but like with the big amount of XP, it's scary. Of HP, sorry. And each time they're going to hit you, not only are they going to hit hard, but they're going to get a chance to actually permanently lower your attack power by 1. So you don't want to fight many of them. Oh, and we can see one on Wugga's side.
There he is. There's our boy.
Yeah, board of Viper. But luckily, Wugga actually got the best weapon you can hope for in a speedrun setting, which is called the Scarlet one. And he equipped it like right away. Scarlet one, Ice Shield. This is one setup I would be okay with.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong setup.
Yes.
The wands are particularly different than the swords because they have an additional magic power gain when you're using mixer magic. So
Yes.
while they both have the elemental advantage, this one has an extra damage increase, as you're seeing already.
Oh, yeah. What we see on KaineTheBrain side, the green thing with yellow antennas, is called a picket. Like, it's not necessarily scary when you have CUNY because you can make CUNY duel them. And, like, while they move 2 times every time you move once and are super fast, they're super weak as well. So CUNY is just gonna wreck them. Yeah, it's gonna take 2 turns, but it's gonna hit CUNY 2 times for 1 damage. That's not scary at all. But on KaineTheBrain side, though, if you don't have CUNY, this is the bad part. If they get in melee with Ko, instead of attacking, they might decide to actually steal one items in your inventory. And when that does happen, well, bad luck. They're gonna teleport away with your item, and they're gonna run away from you. And you can see Kaine is trying so hard to get his fireball back, but it might cost more than it actually is worth.
And he's learning the bad way about how. Oh, and it's getting far away from him.
Oh yeah.
It's especially obnoxious because of their double turns. If you try to paralyze them and stuff, they have even more chances to break free of that. So
That's weird, though.
Effective.
That's weird. Confused. I saw the picket did have an item and it still tried to attack. I think that's the first time I see this.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen really seen much combat with a confused picket.
Yeah. That's weird. Like, when they have an item, they just run away from you, but confused is just like, oh, and you lose the medicinal herb. That is getting, like, really sketchy. I think Kaine is going to want to get out of this as quick as he can. Shove? Oh, I would have shoved.
Yeah, I would have shoved too.
Ouch. Okay, he's out. He's out. And floor 20 is the end of the pickets. Well, actually, you can find some on floor 25, but they are quite rare, so... And Viper Town for both runners. I cannot stress enough, though, that A, getting to floor 20 in your first attempt is absolutely madness. B, Kaine's done it with 16 floors without CUNY. So I gotta just say, this is really high-level play you're seeing right now on your screen.
He's only a couple floors behind Wugga. Like, that's amazing.
Absolutely. And Wugga's been just trucking along. We speak more about KaineTheBrain because his situations are much worse, and it's definitely one of the things that is fun to to see like how runners get out, like think in through these rough situation. But Wugga's just been playing like flawlessly since the beginning so far. He's probably has a very good inventory since he doesn't use as much items. He can just pick up the best items around. Although those wind monsters gonna get scary with an ice shield, Wugga.
Yeah, Kaine's fighting these unicorns. They are a wind monster, and so being that he has an ice shield, that's a bad time.
Yes. Stray, absolutely. There is a way to change your HUD in 3 different ways. You can have it like Kaine, like Wugga, or remove it entirely. I understand absolutely why Wugga does that. He's the only runner I know that does it. Change it on the corner. It's good because it's not in your way when you're moving north. And so you can see monster coming up easier. But obviously, as a commentator, I absolutely dislike that a lot. Because now we don't know on what floor he is because we need to check it once in a while. I still love you, Wugga, though.
We can get an idea of where he's at based on the floor layouts because the floor layouts are always static. He's basically right now on floor 22 or floor 23 right now. So.
Yeah. You can see what floor he's on like right now. When he's gonna get to that floor, you're gonna see like on the screen it's gonna pop out. So he's on 24 now. And like Orza said, we get a good sense of what chunk of the tower he's on because of the floor layout. Like music and floor layout changes, we know he's on 25 now. But yeah, that is that's different. I understand so well why he does it. He's just the only one that does it, and that confuses the commentary team. And that's all right. I guess you gotta mess with us once in a while.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is. I guess it was a misclick.
Yeah, he didn't mean to do that.
I don't think so. So Wind Crystal is one of the items you really want to see all the time, except in a speedrun setting, because leaving the tower is the equivalent of forfeiting. So this is the only time you're gonna see people like generally Wind Crystal is always welcome. You're always happy to see one, but not in speedrun.
Yeah, and you're gonna see. You feel like you see a lot more Wind Crystals in the speedrun because you don't want them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Cutie gets paralyzed. That is scary.
The thankful part is that Wugga has had to use very little resources to get up here, and so he's incredibly well equipped for this run.
Yeah, but what scares me is that KaineTheBrain has been becoming much faster and faster. He's actually catching up. Sorry, what?
Oh, he left Kude behind for a second. I was like, don't leave him.
Yeah. The other thing is, I've never seen Wugga make so much mistakes. I've seen Wugga runs a lot. And I know, like, I assume he's scared of running against Kaine because Kaine is such a great player. But, I mean, I've never seen Wugga make so many mistakes, so he might be frazzled a little bit, and that might come into play a lot.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit of pressure here, like, given where they're at in the tournament, like, in the competitive sense. Like, this is the end of the road for one of them today. Regardless of how good they are, one of them is leading this tournament. And it doesn't tell you enough how much the quality of the players, like how much better we've gotten as a community at this game. Like, it's wild.
Oh yeah.
Where we're at in the bottom bracket right now.
Yeah, exactly. The lower bracket is just stacked now. There is no matches that I won't fear until the end of this tournament. Like, there's no way. It's going to be absolutely scary. And speaking of dead, my dear friend Kaine might be in a tough situation.
He's been getting harassed by Vipers.
Bloom's gonna be enough. Nice. Okay. Now. Paralyzed good. Paralyzed good. Can pick it up. Yeah, there we go. Throw it away.
Turn that Viper around.
Wow. What a play on KaineTheBrain's side. Yeah, that's the kind of game where you gotta use this the Descendants. Never gonna give up. Never gonna let you down. Like, you just need to have an iron will of like, I'm not gonna die. This is how you play Azure Dreams. This is how you get out of these situations. Honestly, Kaine has absolutely got one of the greatest brain in the community. That's why it's called KaineTheBrain. And I like to see how, but sadly though.
Oh man.
Yeah, not much you could do there.
He put up a heck of a fight of nearly 20 floors without Kune. Let's get some GGs in chat for Kaine.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll just let him know what happened here.
all right. So, like I said, this is a best of 3 setup. So, runners will get a chance to. Well, Wugga's not out of it. Sorry, Kaine is not out of it. He's gonna get the chance to fight back. Just adjust that for a second.
It's definitely not over yet.
Oh, absolutely not. Oh, there we go. And there we go. So they're gonna set up.
Sad Night has been blamed already. Excellent.
Sorry, what?
You've been blamed already for these seeds.
Why? My seeds were great, weren't they? All right.
I believe Wugga's gonna do a bio real quick. So.
Oh, he's gonna identify the eggs. Oh yeah, napless. Oh wow. That would have been great. So yeah, they're gonna set up real quick. Just make sure that everything is in order to prep for round 2. You can see that Wugga's got a point now, but obviously this is a best of 3, so Wugga can still... If Wugga can win the next one, then that's gonna be it for KaineTheBrain, but KaineTheBrain still got the chance to actually fight back and actually maybe get a better seed where he doesn't start by losing CUNY so early on. But I can't stress enough, like I said earlier, how crazy it is that he actually was competing with Wugga without a pet. That is such a great thing. They set up for race number 2, 96 for the seed. Is that what we're looking for? Yes, we are.
Excellent.
Yes, so KaineTheBrain seeds is great.
Yeah, the unfortunate current day of Konami is a sad thing.
Avocado, this is a rendo mod, yes, but it is actually a de-rendo mod. Nothing has been more randomized than the actual vanilla game, and the seeding, not the seeding, but the RNG has been seeded, so it's not as RNG anymore. So they get the same tower. We're gonna see the seed on, 96. It's good. So. So they're both going to be ready for a race in number 2, and they're going to prep. And we start the game not from new game, but we started from outside of your house on first movement. So they're going to set up in that position and be ready for race number 2.
So, Stray Sine Wave, you say Azure Dreams 2, but I don't think we pointed out what was discovered this year in the actual code of the game. There is actually a second tower in the code, and you can get into that tower via the randomizer. You have to, in the normal game, you'd have to be able to hack an item into your inventory for it to set the flag off for it. But through the randomizer, we can just go into it. And if you want to see the insanity that is Tower 2, you should check out that randomizer.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been playing the crap out of that second tower. It is absolutely a lot of fun. It's much harder. There's 90 floor for first. Every enemies can appear on every floor, so you can have like level 3 dragons on floor 3. That will absolutely wreck your day. And there is just new mechanics and stuff. It's crazy it was in there for so long. And we were like so amazed to actually see that there was a whole new game inside the game we never knew about.
And the friends along the way are definitely the Azure Dreams 2. Definitely deserve.
Nice. All right, so the runner is going to get ready in position soon.
And I will just say that I think that given everything we've learned about this game in the last year and a half, that it basically feels like a new game at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
I never played this game like this when I was growing up with it. It's
nobody did.
Insane right now.
Yeah, nobody did. I mean, even when I actually discovered the only 2 runners of this game that actually just... One of them did one run for fun and posted it, and the other one was actually practicing quite a bit. The first one being Shawnee, and the second one being the Darcis. But even the Darcis that had practiced quite a lot and made like a few hundred runs, a few hundred attempts, is run today, even though it's absolutely incredible, uses probably like 10% of the strats we use today. This community has grown so much in only a year. That is just crazy to see what we discovered, how good we got, and how big the community has become. So I'm so happy for that. This is always evolving.
Yeah, like there was a time when I was trying to get myself into doing speedrunning, this was actually the first game I thought that I wanted to run. When I was like, well, what game can I pick up? And I looked at myself and I was just like, I can't run this game. It's too random. How am I going to clear it? I can't even clear it like on 3 tower clears. And then one lonesome day on speed gaming, lo and behold, a tournament pops up. And I would just have to do a double take at it and go, wait, Azure Dreams is being speed ran? What? What? And lo and behold, here we are, almost a year later. We're getting these runners ready to go, and they're going to be running, and the hype is coming. I hope y'all are ready for round 2. Let's see if Kaine can bounce back and take this game and push it to game 3. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I want to see. These 2 runners are so great that I don't want to see any of them leave. So the more I can get, the happier I'll be. Like Wugga and KaineTheBrain, I cannot believe after this match one of them is going to be out of the tournament. They are absolutely 2 titans in the game, and I can't wait to see how it's going to go.
Exactly that, Trinex. Just one floor ahead to take the game. And I'll say this, Stray Sine Wave, the first time I saw someone throw a Holy Scroll at a monster and take control of it, I just about spit out my copy.
Yeah, absolutely. But yes, concerning death, you're absolutely right, Urza. As soon as you die, your floor is your score, and your opponent is gonna win as soon as he can get on an higher floor. Or if there is a tie, it's the first one who got to that floor. And if you're already ahead when that happens, like it did on the first match, KaineTheBrain died, Wugga's already ahead. So that's already point given, and we just move to the next match. Sometimes when somebody gets really, really close to 40, we let them finish their round just for the show. It's super fun to see people clearing the tower in one go, especially if they are on PB pace, we'll let them do that. But generally, no, it's going to be like as soon as the match is done, we move to the next part. Keeps the action going. It's much more fun than looking at one player run while the other wait, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting, Classy Badger, how popular these randomized games have gotten in recent years. And I think it's just that the competitiveness of it and the ability to just kind of shake things up enough for like the kind of constant playing of it makes a big difference than just playing the vanilla game.
Yeah, and also on the viewer standpoint, it's a lot of fun to watch because it keeps things fresh. Not everyone is going to be the same. I can absolutely appreciate a speedrun that is always going to be the same, and it's all scale-based, and you're going to repeat the same app process over and over again up until you become so good at it, which is not something that's going to happen in Azure Dreams. You can practice standby strats, but it's always going to be more of an intellectual puzzle game. Like, it's every situation happens, what are you going to do? More of a, okay, I know everything that's going to happen, so I'm just going to be extremely good at it. I can appreciate both, but in terms of a viewership standpoint, but as a player, I really enjoy everyone's going to be different. How can I apply the knowledge I have to that game? That is definitely what I prefer in terms of, as a player, I prefer random games.
Like, I'd like to refer to this game, Sandknight's heard me use this before, I refer to it as a toolbox speedrun. It's like you have a set of things that you can do in any given situation. And it's a matter of taking the right tool out to get past this obstacle.
Absolutely.
You never know what's coming into your into your shop. Oh, that's a nice glove trap.
Yeah, I might get some use right away.
I think so. And he picks up a blinder ball. Wugga gets my favorite spell in the whole game. So.
Oh, and Kaine loses Cutie on floor 2 again.
Oh, no he doesn't. He's still got Kune. Oh, no, Kaine.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, Kaine.
Oh, no!
Oh, yes. Wow. All right. Yes, there's no reset in Azure Dreams. Like there can be if it's really, really bad. There's reset because you die, though. That's another thing. But yeah, Azure Dreams definitely has the you can still come back factor. If your last 10 floors is just a train of elevator, you can still always come back if you're lucky. But yeah, that does imply a little bit of luck. This is one of the things you need in this game, where traditional speedrunning, as you would call it, don't necessarily have the RNG factor, or some of them does, but obviously not as much as this game.
I would say the most important thing you can do in practicing this game at first is just learning control. Learning what you can do with Ko, learning how to move enemies, and just learning how to use Kune are the most important things to get down, because that's going to get you higher in the tower than anything else. And
I 100% agree.
Learning about the enemies and what they can do and how often they're going to do it is your next step after that. And like a run, in my opinion, there is no bad run of this game, because even the best runners are only going to see a 440, like maybe one. If you're very good at this game and you're very consistent with this game, you're going to see like 1 in 7-ish, I'd say, maybe, if you're lucky.
Yes.
So you're never going to have a whole lot of bad runs, because a clear is a good run, regardless of how slow it is.
I absolutely agree. But yeah, there is some talk in chat about how the game could have some new interesting setups. We have a few ideas for new tournaments that might come later on this year. But definitely Rock Me to the Top is being super appreciated and popular. So it's definitely going to stay a staple, but we might experience with a few new things once in a while. We did experience this summer with a 2v2 tournament, which was actually super fun to watch, but in terms of organization was kind of a rough experience, let's call it that.
Yeah, well, we have a pretty widespread community across the entire world, and so time zones are a problem.
Oh yeah, time zones were a problem, let's call it that. But yeah, if you like to see KaineTheBrain runs without a pet, then you will be so happy to see that he is already CUNY-less. Egg bomb already. All right. So
Kane's gonna have some words for you after these scenes, Sanjay.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, fine for me. All right. So.
And Wildfire, what that would be is that would just be an any percent race, just a normal, good old any percent race.
Yeah, which is first at 40, yeah, exactly. Alright, okay, so they both are out of the first exploration. Oh no, Wugga still has 5 to do, alright. But yeah, Kaine is taking the lead then by quite a bit, because I guess Wugga is going to explore floor 5, because he can. So he might end up being higher level and with a better inventory, but at least Kaine is putting on the pressure, leaving floor 6 for 7. He is super low level. He cannot fight anything unless he uses an item or something.
You really can't count a run out until Ko is dead. It doesn't matter if you lose your pet or not. Like,
yes,
I can confirm that you don't need a pet to clear this tower.
Yes, I agree. This is the new trend. Like, there is a way to enter the tower that is called Glitch in 3, where you actually never meet CUNY, so it never becomes a party member. And it does remove the necessity of doing the tutorial floor. So you probably save, I'd say, a rough estimate of like a minute and a half.
Well, you save a lot of time throughout the whole run.
Oh yeah.
For the fact that you don't have any animations of Kune.
Yes,
so
exactly.
You don't fight very much.
Yes.
And new trend is a strong word for it. There's like 2 or 3 people in the community that are willing to try that nonsense.
Yes, but they are the ones with like the 3 best times in the leaderboard now, because they've done it.
That is not how you probably wanted to start this game, but if you want a wild run, it is definitely wild.
Yes, and by throwing... Yeah, and by throwing their face at the wall a lot, then they actually all achieved at least 1 successful runs. That was in the low 40, or even in the high 30s, I think.
Yeah,
Like, world record is like 30, what, 34?
All the Kune free runs are all sub 40.
Oh, man, that is crazy.
Which is pretty wild if you think about it.
Yeah, world record is 3407. That's... Wow. Alright, I'm impressed.
And as a note about poison traps, if they can't kill you. So if you get down to 1 health, you won't die.
Yeah.
Much as Kaine showed us here a moment ago with getting down to... Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Kaine is in a bad spot.
Oh, yeah. Ouch. Okay, U-boats. At least he's got a steel shield. Without a steel shield, he was absolutely dead. He's gonna survive unless it wakes up, and
Yep,
even if it does.
He's going.
Yeah.
He's making it. He is on
And
floor 8.
Oh, yeah. That was a scary floor. But like I said, you never give up in this game, and...
Never give up. Never
Yep.
surrender.
Oh, that is so lame. Come on, clown. Give Kaine a break. Alright, so the spell we saw is called Lowdown. And Lowdown... Yeah, the zoom just to show how pissed he is. So the spell is called Lowdown, and Lowdown is gonna level you down for once. You are 1 XP away from getting back to your level, but all progress you've made towards the next is lost. So yeah, that is so bad.
What movie is friend? I don't know what you're talking about.
But Kaine is still trucking. He is still in the lead, 2 floors ahead. Gonna pick up the ball. Recovery is absolutely sad. While it is an healing ball, you can only use it on a pet, not on yourself. So, yeah, having no pet and getting a recovery ball is just adding insult to injury. And he's getting chased by 2 U-boats.
Man, I just look at these two. I look at these 2 runners right now, and I wonder, are they actually in the same seed? Given their positions. Yeah,
they are, but damn, they do play differently. But yeah, Kaine's been really unlucky at losing Cutie twice. Oh, wow. All right. Monster manipulation all the way. He actually moved away and back again. And so the 2 U-boats went the other way around, and then you just get to kill the clown because of the trap. Wow.
So the way Monster AI works is really bizarre. Enemies have a really small area of view. And
Yes.
so you can kind of like sneak around them a lot easier than you think you can. And rooms throw that all up in the air. Once you enter a room with a monster, everything can see you. And that was a cute little follow.
Yep.
That's new. I haven't seen that on Kaine's side. But the monsters, oh boy, Wugga's getting pinned here.
Yeah, but he's got the inventory. I wouldn't be too stressed about that. He's gonna need to deal with it, but I think it's gonna be fine.
Oh, but as I was saying with AI, sorry, I got off tangent for a second. With Monster AI, once you get into a room, everything can see you. But once you leave that room, things start dropping their hold on you, and you can kind of like do what he did and just kind of dance around him and get away from it all.
Yes. We see some U-boat dancing on KaineTheBrain's side, and he's gonna create quite a train actually.
Actually, we saw U-boat dancing
Wugga, sorry.
Wugga and Wugga at the same time.
That is crazy. These runners. And KaineTheBrain is gonna be really happy to know he's not on the water floors anymore. He's got to floor 10. He can start to grind a little bit. Maybe not grind because he doesn't have the firepower with only a copper sword, but at least no more U-boats. Let's say that.
No more U-boats. Floor 10 is a relatively safe floor in the grand scheme of things. A little less so when you don't have a pet, but less bad than U-boats.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Stracing Wave, absolutely. These runners are great, and it's just crazy to see them run. I mean, both, like, Wugga has been just playing perfectly, making no mistakes, or almost no mistakes, showing how the game is meant to be played perfectly, and KaineTheBrain that has made, not necessarily mistakes, but have been through really tough situations, and still get to just run, no matter what. Nothing is going to slow him nothing is gonna stop him. He's just trucking along without even CUNY. I mean, these two runners shows the two best things you can see in Azure Dreams, and I like it. And Wugga is stuck in some kind of a...
I'm a little confused as to what Wugga is doing right now.
He's dancing. He's having some fun.
I mean, but I'm just wondering why he's sending Kune so far forward.
I think CUNY was re-aggroing the U-boat all the time, and it missed it with the dance. And he just wanted it out to make sure that he would like only dance with it, but he realized the U-boat was having none of it. It was moving back and forth. Oh, that is bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad position.
Oh yeah.
He has an item in his hand. He has to get rid of that thing to be able to do an attack now. Oh, he got lucky that the U-boat submerged.
Well, lucky for that round. Is he gonna do a bagging trick? What is he looking for? Interesting. These moments I absolutely adore when you see the hamster spinning in their head, even though you cannot see the runners themselves.
Oh, I did not see that little piece of ground there between Kaine and that griffin.
Oh yeah.
Troll,
And Kaine is getting
oh.
sniped bad, yeah. So trolls are one of the easiest monsters you're gonna see at the beginning of the tower. Later you get, oh ouch. The higher you get into the tower, they get new weapons. The first time they have clubs. The second times they have crossbow, and the third time they got swords. Swords are bad in it of themselves, but yeah, crossbows are really terrible.
Oh, he took a minute. What's he? Oh, he's gonna holy bell.
Oh yeah, you need.
Play.
Yes.
He still needs to be careful because what Holy Bell does is it makes monsters unable to attack you and have to leave that room.
Yes.
But that when they're on the edge and they have a ranged attack, they can still shoot a ranged attack in that room and kill you.
Yes.
And Kaine would die.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And to add insult to injury, in this room there is a Scarlet Wand, which is the best weapon if you have a pet. Obviously, Kaine doesn't, so that's really bad. And oh, the Holy Bell pays for itself.
He tried to pick up the item on the ground, and there was a slam trap.
Oh yeah, and he activated it manually. Oh, that is so bad.
God,
I would have done the same mistake. That is so bad. Oh, poor Kaine.
You're a heart attack there.
Wow. Welcome everyone writing from the Speed Gaming 2 channel. This is Azure Dreams. We actually run a tournament called the Rock Me to the Top Tournament, where we have a special rule set. It's not necessarily just an any percent speedrun. To keep things interesting, there is a 44 tower, and we try to climb it as high as we can. But there is two limitation. If you die, this is the end of your run, and you have a 1 hour time limit to do so. So they won't necessarily clear the game every time. The race ends when one runner is higher than its opponent and the other one is dead, or if one of them reaches the floor 40, which do happen from time to time. Then this is the game. Since the game is so harsh, we are going to play best of threes. You can see Wugga already has a point. Kaine doesn't right now. And they're going to face off each other's at least this time and maybe another time if KaineTheBrain get the next point.
Right now, Kaine is without Kune, but he is in the lead. And I do want to point out for our new people, we are late in our tournament brackets right now, so what you're seeing right now is some of the best of our community going head-to-head right now, so...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Welcome to the show.
Ghost Wizard, you can absolutely press a circle and triangle to skip turns, so that your energy or your health fills back up. But it makes the turn skip super quickly, so that's not necessarily a problem. It'll take you probably like 2 to 3 seconds to fill up your HP if you're skipping turns. But obviously skipping turns got its downside as well. It's gonna not necessarily attract monsters, but monsters gonna continue moving along the road, and they might end up being in the room you are in. So you generally only want to do that when you are on the elevator. So if bad happens, you can just at least leave the floor. That's where you're generally gonna see runners regenerate their health.
Oh, and Kaine having to try to walk into that room with the two sleeping volcanoes.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, they both didn't follow. Just the one.
Yeah, but it's still kind of scary. They hit kind of hard, especially when they crit. And no!
Kaine, no!
Kaine is out.
Oh no!
Okay, that's not done yet. That's floor 12, so he got there first as well. So Wugga, if he is to win, he's going to need to get through 13. He's in a good position to do so, but I mean, this game can be really, really rough. Oh yeah, okay.
Oh man, that was one of those moments where like, I'm sure Kaine was thinking about the math about how much health that has, but he was just barely out of range to do that second swing on him to kill him.
Yes.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah, you don't need to walk in place. Like I said, you can just press circle and triangle to skip turns. That's going to refill your energy as well. But you cannot just wait. You need to skip turns. The game is turn-based, even though it might not look like it because everything goes really fast. But nothing moves if you don't move, and you won't recover HP if turns doesn't pass. You could walk it off. You could stay in place and skip turns. But yeah, by the passing of time, your HP is always going to get up. You can even see it on Wugga's screen right now. He's just walking around and his HP is going to come back up. But you can absolutely like fasten the process a lot by just skipping turns.
Yeah, this game has some insane menuing speed. Basically,
Yeah.
as fast as you can hit the button is how fast you can menu through it.
Yes,
It's
the menu is
incredibly
super responsive. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's shortcut buttons on the shoulder button as well, which is just a godsend. And these can be super responsive as well. So sometimes you can do some menuing and the menu doesn't even come up on the screen because you can do it so fast. So it's super fun to have.
That's part of what makes these races so wild is watching the runners just menu like mad people. And get to where they're going, you're like, what did they do? How'd they do it? What? Wait.
Yep, exactly. Like the menu doesn't even come up. They're like, what did he do? Oh, okay, did that. Oh, that's nice. So the Dreammen we see on Wugga's side are not necessarily a scary monster in and of itself. It's got pretty low stats. It's got decent HP, but defense and attack is just really, really low. The reason why it's so scary in at least a little is that they have an ability that they have a low chance of putting you to sleep. And even if they sleep you in the same round, like in the same room they're gonna just whack at you. They'll do 2 or 3 damage. You're gonna be fine, don't you worry about that. But obviously when they put you to sleep in a room where there's other monsters as well, now this becomes really dangerous and run-ending. So even though the chance to put you to sleep seems to be kind of low, it's always gonna happen in a worst case situation, and then you're gonna just die to a Dreamman.
Yeah.
Hey, Roadkill.
Dreammans are a low chance of ending a run, but when they do, it definitely feels bad.
Roadkill, welcome to the stream. Absolutely. I'm happy you get to see us live now. We're gonna have some fun, but I mean, we might not have fun for long though, because Wugga is absolutely catching up on KaineTheBrain, and while he can absolutely die to like a paralysis trap or something, I don't think I would see him like, yeah.
He's got a pretty strong advantage because he only needs to get one more floor at this point. It was Kaine fell on floor 12, didn't he?
He did fall on floor 12, yes. Okay. So many balls. Alright. Oh yeah, Kraken nonsense would absolutely stop him.
Yeah, Krakens can end a seed, just like that.
Krakens can end everything.
Like, stat-wise, they're, like, literally the most dangerous monster for their levels. Like,
Oh yeah.
the only things that top them are the dragons, which just have really cheater stats as it is for the tower ones.
Yes.
That's really it.
That's pretty much it, yeah, obviously. Dragons have got stupid stat like the stupid eye defense and stupid eye attack. Oh, and we get a sleepy Wugga.
How long will he take a nap for?
Oh, that's not good. Okay,
hey,
it's good.
wakes up.
Oh,
it takes
still,
10 minutes,
though. Yeah. It takes quite a beating, but I mean, that's fine.
He's not dead. He's got
Yeah,
more
yeah.
diamonds coming.
That's one of the... Oh, damn!
this is gonna make Wugga earn this.
I think at least the tower's fighting back a little.
And Wugga doesn't know that he needs to beat this floor to win, because our runners can't watch each other's streams. In our usual Rocket style, we don't care if people watch each other's streams because it's randomized. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to see. There's no information to glean other than where you need to end.
Yes.
So we don't mind if people watch their streams normally, but in this, since they have the same seed, they can't watch their streams.
Yes.
They would know what items are on floors then, and that's not
fair. Yeah, exactly. So they don't know, they cannot get the information of where their opponent is at, so they cannot change their playstyle according to that, which we used to do in the first tournament. But obviously the fact that now they are facing against the same tower is much more interesting. It's definitely worth the change in rule sets, but yeah, that's kind of a crazy thing. And yeah, I think he saw the elevator during the spin, but man, this tower doesn't want to let it go. And a miss? Tower's fighting back.
I mean, that's okay, because he wasn't going to be able to two-shot this thing anyway. Not with an attack from Kune.
Yeah, Fat Bug Lover, absolutely. There was some tower clears. I think Gene Freak is the last one I've seen that does it. But yeah, we all get once in a while a clear tower in tournament setting.
See, and this shows right here, obviously that Wugga is not watching the stream because he's trying to get blue collar when his victory is right there.
Yes, but he doesn't know.
Oh boy, oh dang. Okay, so he's gonna take the safe one. Is he gonna go? Is he gonna fight? What's he gonna do?
Oh, he's gonna fight! If he dies to this, man.
What a way to go it would be. Watch him step on a monster den between the elevator and this collar. No, never mind. He got it.
Alright, it's fine.
In a moment. Whoop.
Regenerating elf.
And he's out.
And he's out. Victory on Wugga's side.
2-0. We're gonna see if our runners want to do a friendly third for all you lovely people.
Yeah, so when it actually goes down to a 2-0, we always propose to runners if they want to do a friendly third. So the match doesn't necessarily count towards the tournament, obviously, but it's just for the show and for you guys. And for us, obviously, because we do love watching people run our streams. I don't know if they are going to, but it might be an interesting thing.
Kaine is going to pass, I'm guessing, after 2 seeds of having Kune die in the first. They will come in for an interview, though, so let's get them in here for an interview.
Alright, I'll take that.
I don't blame Kaine after those 2 seeds for not wanting to do a third, because those were absolutely terrible.
I absolutely agree.
Alright, let's get some invites out to our friend. Alright, send one to Kaine.
Alright.
Send one to Wugga. Alright, and I think we're joined by Kaine. Hey, Kaine.
One sec.
Oh, he's getting set up. Give him a second.
I forgot that I had my Discord on my headset.
It's all good. So, hey, Kaine.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome.
Hello.
GG's to both of you. Hey, Kaine, do you have anything you want to tell Sand Knight right now?
I don't know how obvious it was, but could anybody tell that I was just a little bit upset during the second game?
Okay, now I really want to rewatch this match.
Well,
I don't know about the IS floor. I don't know about the IS floor. Kaine got to, but I know about CUNY, and he never passed gut floor 4. So.
Oh my goodness.
4 and 2, yeah.
Floor 3. That room that you were in with the 2 flames and the cyclone took his Kune from him.
Yep.
Oh no, that's awful.
I kept missing like a troll for the one on the second floor. I was like, "Are you kidding? It's a troll. It shouldn't kill me."
Yeah.
No seeds.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Yeah, so
Thanks,
then
Sand Knight. Again, thanks, Sand Knight, a lot for these seeds. We appreciate it. Everybody in the community loves you for these seeds you create for us.
There were
It's
like
like-
400 Manivas on that one floor 5. I
Yes.
couldn't even.
Oh yeah, yeah. I came across them too. It was what am I gonna do? I'm running out of resources.
I guess you're welcome.
So I want to just like I mentioned this during the runs, but very much a lot of the time, given the luck that Kaine was running into versus Wugga, Kaine almost looked like he was in a different tower, given how bad it was for him most of the time. So,
Yeah.
But in both times, Kaine took the lead and stayed in the lead most of the time.
Yeah,
that first
right.
seed, Wugga came back around and took it from him, but man, those were some races. Kaine, you put up a heck of a fight. The bad meal you were served by Sand Knight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, the story of the first run, that was definitely like the greatest of the two. Like Kaine, that was just so beautiful to see you run without like CUNY and with all the bad monster trains and stuff. We were still getting out of these. Like you took a few hits, you tested some pickups and stuff like that, but it was all obviously calculated race in a sense. And it was crazy to see you like get to the elevator with a monster in your hand and 5 on your back, and you were still trucking along and making sure you put pressure on Wugga, which I really, really appreciated to see. That was quite a set of race.
Yeah, I was trying to emulate Datarus with those pickups.
That worked. That worked for quite a long time. Until the monster couldn't be picked up anymore. But I mean, for a few floors, it was just like, oh my god, he's not gonna stop, is he?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
So you're really running for the elevators, Kaine. I take
Yeah,
it.
I was really really doing more of a familiarist run on kind of all
Okay.
of those. Not totally by choice, but you know.
Oh boy.
It is faster to do it that way, but obviously
Yes.
it's quite easy to wind up super dead.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not much one of a. I'm not that big of a meta player, but I know I've watched your stream, so I know how you play, and I know our play styles are drastically different. So I actually went for a very, very careful play this time around. Like all the way through, I tried to play it really, really safe, in
Yeah.
hopes that it might
Yeah,
pan out.
we actually realized that on the commentary. Like we were like, we see both sides of like type of runners. One of which is actually showing out, even in the worst situation, you can come out ahead if you're clever and use your resources and use the movement options. And on the other side was like textbook Ash Dreams. If you want to get really good at it, it's exactly the type of play you want to see. It's just perfection, like one combat after the other, not taking risks or not taking too many risks anyway. I was like, I like to see both of these things facing off each other. It's like, it's nice to see that in a game like Ash Dreams that's been going on for quite a long time. Different playstyle and creativity can still be put into the game, which is not necessarily true for every speedrun out there, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually pretty interesting that like every single like runner in this community runs a little bit differently. Like every single person runs a little bit differently. There's no one that plays the same.
Yeah, sometimes you could tell without seeing who's running, actually, by just seeing how they run, I could tell you who it is.
Yeah, if you see somebody just like recklessly abandoning any sense of
Oh, that's KaineTheBrain now. That's
Any-
nice.
any sense of care, it's me probably. Oh, is it Kraken and I'm by myself? Sure, I'll try to fight this.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. You've got quite a fun race to check back, Wugga. It's going to be fun.
There's a reason
Oh,
why I usually refer
yes.
to Kaine as being the madman of the community.
But, Wugga, I mean, you said you played, like, to the best of your capacity, making sure you slowed down just a little bit to make sure that, like, your playstyle was going to be, well, pretty much waiting on Kaine to make, not necessarily make a mistake, but, I mean, playing recklessly will backfire at some point, obviously. So I guess it was your plan going along in this match.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know how much I actually you can see that in my play ultimately, but I played very carefully as opposed to what I usually do in the game, where I just run willy-nilly right into monsters just because running is faster and it gets you killed. But I thought, okay, this is not a PB attempt. This is an actual tourney race. I'm gonna have to try to survive. So I used a lot of standby strats that I normally don't use because I do glitched entry and stupid stuff like that.
Hey, I know how that feels. It's like I want to see people that play this game without their pets. There's a couple.
Imagine. Yeah, like Kane did, you mean?
Yeah, Kane,
Yeah,
Kane
yeah.
did not volunteer for this, though. Kane brought Cooney with him.
What are you talking about? I sacrificed CUNY on floor 5 and 2 on purpose, wasn't it?
RNGesus, praise RNGesus, die Cooney.
Yeah.
So I want to just point out one thing for you, Wugga. So you're gonna move on this bracket, and
Yes.
this next week you're gonna be playing against Pule. So Godspeed.
Yeah.
Later this
Yeah,
week
that's
also,
gonna be a match.
We're gonna have
Pule is-
next Sunday. We're gonna have the finals match of the upper bracket of Sand Knight and Baldwin. That's.
Well, I
gonna
think
be
we're
where-
losing Orza a bit.
Am I dropping? Testing.
I'm hearing you just fine. Just a little bit quiet, maybe.
Yeah, I'm having mic problems. But yeah, so then we
Or
also
maybe
have
it's
Sand
me.
Knight and maybe it's just Sand Knight. He's breaking out because I'm telling him he has to go up against Baldwin, the current world record holder of this game. So good luck, Godspeed. Unfortunately, Kane, this is the end of your tournament here. But yeah, that's the results of today. I think we also have one other race coming up this week with Gene Freak and Full Featureitis at some point.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun race to watch as well. I can't remember the time it's on.
I don't think they've scheduled it yet, but they are.
Oh, yeah.
Playing this week too.
Yes. So yeah, the tournament is becoming really, really scary. A lot of good players still in it. Can't wait to see these matches coming along. I think I should take the time to thank both our runners. This was such a beautiful showcase.
Thanks.
It was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Thank you, Orza, for joining me today in commentary. It was a lot of fun.
I apologize to anyone that has a hard time hearing me today. My mic is apparently dying on me, so.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the Speed Gaming crew and the Speed Gaming channel in general. This tournament has been possible because of your help and you believing in us. It's super appreciated to get to share our love for this game with everyone. And speaking of everyone, hey, Twitch chat, we love you and we really appreciate you watching our matches. It's so much fun to have you around. And I want to say we appreciate every time you comment or just lurk. It's always nice to know that there's people actually enjoying what we do. I'm going to give you one final link to our Discord if you want to join. This is obviously a speedrun Discord related speedrun related Discord, but we don't only accept speedrunners. If you just want to see what we do, get information on the next matches, speak about your love of the game, or discover what it is, or play the randomizer just for fun, this is absolutely the place you need to go. We will welcome you and show you the way around. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, again, thank you for everyone for being here today, and see you in the next match.
I also want to drop right here too. That's the brackets that we have left in the tournament, so you can follow those people too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, and see you around, everyone.
Thanks,
I want to
guys.
point out one thing, just the last thing I want to point out, since I'm going up against Pule Santet.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't have a head. You dropped somewhere, but I'm coming for it because you dropped me into the losers bracket, Pule, and you're gonna pay for it.
Oh, shots fired!
The rematch is here.
Wow, that's gonna be a fun match. I'm excited. All right, see you around the next time, guys. Have some fun.
Everyone.
Later, man.
Bye bye.
And